Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, and if you feel like you've tried everything and nothing seems to help, call us at 1-800-229-3000 for a plan to help you move forward. There's always something you can do. Always. Joining me on the show today are clinical psychologist Dr. Alice Benton and licensed marriage and family therapist Marc Cameron. These are just two of my favorite peeps. If you need to confront someone or someone has confronted you about something, call in. Maybe a sexual integrity issue, yours or someone else's, is causing turmoil and strife. Well, call us at 1-800-229-3000. We're going to be in the studio for 2 hours today. And let's have Marc. Approach is 1-800-229-3000 is our number.
Hello, everybody. It's Becky Brown, and I'm coming to you with an urgent need. There are many people that are in difficult relationships, difficult places in their lives.
How do I navigate through that and not to hurt my son?
We had some generous friends of New Life that started a matching gift, and every gift will be doubled up to $475,000. The matching window closes December 31st, so don't wait. Every moment matters in recovery, healing, and restoration.
I do a lot of work in my local church, and so just being able to hear y'all work through some of these situations really helps me to have some insight on how to help others.
Make your gift today by going to newlife.com, click on Donate, or text the word MATCH to 28950. You can also call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Together, we will bring hope and help to so many more people. And I want to say thank you in advance. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE, or you can text the word MATCH to 28950.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Marc's new book, Marc Cameron's new book, is available wherever you get your books, ebooks, and audiobooks. But if you order it from the newlife.com store, you'll receive exclusive bonus content not available anywhere else. Take that, Jeff Bezos. Order your copy today at store.newlife.com. It's called Understanding Your Attachment Style by Marc Cameron. All right, let's go to the phones. Here is Ray, who is in Jeffersonville, Indiana, listening on WBRI. WBRI, like W. Brian.
Yeah,
I like that.
And then, I've seen them, but,
Hello? Hi, Ray. What's your question for us today?
I don't know. Well, I've been having a problem with my wife. I have full guardianship, and she refuses to take medication and treatment, and I can't get her to go get the treatment she needs.
Yeah.
And it's, been like this for about 13 years now. And I don't know, like I said, if she's not a threat to herself or nobody, there's not really nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a stressful situation because I got to do everything.
Just seems like
she hardly ever talks or gets out of the house or does anything.
Hey, Ray, is someone else in the room with you? Because we're hearing their voice as well as yours, and it's...
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so we'll do our best
I'll
to...
get outside.
Yeah, okay.
I'll stand outside.
Okay. Hopefully it's not too cold out there or anything. Alice, what do you suggest to Ray?
Ray, when you talk to your wife about treatment, what has been her explanation in the past for why she's so opposed to it?
She just she doesn't say anything. Like I said, there's hardly no communication between us. She's more like like I said, we've been married 30 some odd years, and there just doesn't seem to be nothing left between us.
And as you look back on those years, when was there a strong change in her that she became so isolated and shut down? What was happening at that time?
Well, I guess after her parents both died, different times, and then our son went to the military, and it's just she had never gotten over any of it, I guess.
Mm.
And then she's been in and out of Wellstone and Clark County Behavioral, but she just don't follow through with anything. The medicine don't help her. They've tried, we've tried everything. It just don't seem to get through to her.
Ray, what's your wife's diagnosis? You said you got full guardianship. What's her diagnosis?
Just severe depression.
Okay. And why do you have guardianship?
Because they determined her to be, when her Social Security, they determined her to be grandkids or anything. It's just so, like I said, I'm going to go see a lawyer here in the next few days to see what they can do as far as, the guardianship, or if there's anything else I need to forced her to get some treatment.
Ray, you mentioned this Wellstone in Clark County. Did that mean she did receive treatment partly, but then wouldn't follow through? And how did she get there to receive any treatment?
Well, they had to call her in. She wouldn't go. I mean, she even refused to go with the sheriff when they come and try to get her. So he just keeps refusing. They's only in there long enough to, I guess, get stabilized, and then I guess the insurance run out, and they had to, or she got out or refused or quit taking the medicine.
How did the sheriff get involved? Was she threatening to hurt herself or someone else?
I don't remember. It's been a while back. I don't know how she wouldn't get old, and she's getting skinny, only down to 82 pounds or whatever.
Oh my.
How old is she,
I
Ray?
had to step in. 70-something, 74.
So she may need inpatient treatment, and you may need to get Adult Protective Services involved. Do you have an advocate through Adult Protective Services?
No, I don't know. Like I said, don't know what else to do, what they can do.
Well, but
she refuses.
Well, she may be in a position where she can't take care of herself and she can't make certain decisions for herself. I mean,
I believe she can. She just won't.
Well,
I mean,
you believe that she can, but if she's losing weight to this degree, it starts to get to the point where it gets dangerous. And so hold on one second. Okay, but every county typically has Adult Protective Services available, and there's usually someone who would get assigned as like a special advocate for her, and that would be my first call for you, because if she's got severe depression, if that affects her eating and her decision making to do things, I think it's wise to get them involved. Just to, again, it's another way to see what your legal actions or what you're legally able to do, because sometimes people can be compelled to do certain things. Like if the police show up and you become her conservator, you might be able to say, no, we really do need to take her at this point because it's getting dangerous. So that would be my first call for you, is to reach out for services through the county.
Well, I mean, that has happened before, but as far as the police coming in, her not wanting to go, I had to come to the house and I had to follow her. I mean, they did that time to take her into their hospital. But, I said she stays in long enough to get stabilized and then gets back out or releases or whatever. It's just a constant...
like a cycle. Yeah, a cycle that you're stuck in.
Ray, we've seen cases where it took multiple involuntary hospitalizations for something to stick and for there to be breakthrough. But you're right, there's no guarantee that there will be the next time. She could still continue to refuse. And if she's of sound enough mind that she can make her own decisions, it's one of the hardest things we family members have to do, is accept that she has this control over her life and she will not receive help. So I agree with Mark's suggestion, and I think you should keep trying that angle because it got you a little traction in the past. But we also have to at times stand by and watch our family members choose to deteriorate. And because we don't have power over them, we can't make them. And you well know this, you've been living this agony. But there are a couple things that we can do to try to influence them. And one is we can fast and pray, because we know that there are some spiritual problems that cannot be overcome without that combination of things. We can gather a spiritual community to fast and pray with us. There's strength in spiritual numbers. And you could have an interventionist. We have an interventionist we work with at New Life that we can recommend, and this person would gather together the people that love her, who would be willing to have a conversation with her, addressing what they're seeing, what their concerns are, and what they would like her to do. At the end of the day, she could still say no, but sometimes to have multiple people guided by an expert address concerns, sometimes that lowers a person's guard and lets them be willing to say yes this time.
Well, and that expert can also show you what level of influence that you may have over her that you're not realizing, because usually people in situations like this, they are relying on help. There usually is some level of enabling, even if that's financial, that if you were willing to take that away or hold a certain boundary, even though they don't want to go and do something, they would really be required to do that if they want to continue that level of support with you. And that interventionist can help you see some of those dynamics.
And that might be as simple, not easy, but as simple as saying, remember we had that sheriff involved before? I'm feeling like we're getting back to that point. If you will go with me to the doctor and receive help, I don't have to call the sheriff. If you won't, I will have to call the sheriff. Or on a smaller level, Ray, it might be, I can't spend time trying to chat with you while you're not getting help. It's dragging us both down, and I think it's killing you. I'll still take care of you. I'll still I'll feed you. I'll take care of your physical needs. But my heart can't handle being in close relationship with you until you're willing to get help.
Hey, Ray, we've got a webinar coming up that I want to send you to. It's called Break Free from Depression. It's happening on Thursday, January 15th at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can watch it and you can learn different ways that you might be able to help your wife break free from her depression. Thank you so much for calling in today to New Life Live at 1-800-229-3000. We're in the studio for 2 hours today, and now here is Steve in Denver, who just found out about New Life Live and decided to call in. Hey, Steve, how'd you find out about us?
Through a friend.
Oh. Well, thank you, Steve's friend.
And welcome.
How can we help you today? What's going on?
Well, I have, my wife refuses to get help to try to fix our marriage, which, in my opinion, is pretty much, I'm pretty much done with it. So, but I'd like to go to counseling, but she refuses. So,
how long have you guys been married?
How do I get? Going on 25 years.
Okay.
What's broken in your marriage, Steve? What are your main concerns?
There's absolutely no intimacy whatsoever.
Okay.
I mean, it's like I'm living with my roommate or something.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's not a marriage, and I'm sick of it.
Steve, has that always been the case, or what brought it about that ended in your relationship?
I'd say, a year or two into our marriage, the intimacy just left pretty much. I don't know, it was like a switch turned off.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any infidelity on either part? Pornography use?
Nope. Yeah.
Yes, there was pornography
yeah.
use. Yes. Both people using it, both of you?
No.
Mm-hmm. And
not that I know of.
Did she find out around the time that she withdrew from you?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Is that your only concern, Steve, or is there more? Or is it just about sex?
Well, it's not so much about the sex either. I mean, It's just the whole emotional. She just really disrespects me. Even my friends see it, and it's just like, I just feel like I don't even know why I'm there. It's like I don't really see any reason to be there.
Her attitude towards you has really worn you down over the years. You're so weary of all of this. If we had a chance, Steve, to ask her why she lost respect for you, what do you think she would tell us?
I don't know, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that she wants some level of intimacy? I know lots of times people use the word intimacy and really they're talking about sex, but what I'm hearing you say is that there doesn't seem to really be any warmth between the two of you at all. It's not just sex that you're talking about. You're talking about emotional connectivity and intimacy in that way. Does she want emotional connectivity?
I don't really think so.
Mm-hmm. But have you asked?
Do you guys have any level of friendship?
Because I wonder why she's staying in this marriage. You guys have been married for 25 years, and I wonder what is the benefit for her.
I think it's because it's convenient.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
because I do a lot.
Wow. So this is hard. I hear that you're stuck here, Steve. We're about to hit the break, but we're going to get back with you afterwards, and we're going to give you a few suggestions here.
I have a hard break. I have a doctor's appointment I have to be to, so.
There will be a recording of the show, Steve, so we'll give our answer, and you can access that recording.
Yeah. One quick question for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, Steve, before you go, the pornography use on your part, is it continuing, or was that just a long time ago?
Well, when you don't have any intimacy, I think it just feeds into it. I'm not saying it's an excuse.
Certainly, but it's an influence.
It's a part of it. It's an influence, yeah.
All right, Steve, stay on the line as long as you can. We'll be right back with you here on New Life Live, 1-800-229-3000.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Orange County, California, January 23rd through the 25th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
All right, let's go back to Steve in Denver, who says he's got an appointment coming up, so he's got a hard break. And we know all about hard breaks here at New Life Live, because when the music starts means we got to wrap up and everything, so we're totally respectful of your time, Steve. So just a couple more questions.
Hey, Steve, quick question for you. So when she disrespects you, what's your response to that? Do you withdraw? Do you get upset and say mean things back? Do you please and appease? What do you do?
Yeah, pretty much nothing.
Well, withdraw or do you please and appease?
Sometimes maybe I'll challenge on it, but I just kind of just let it go.
Right. Okay, so that's not helping. So you're not responsible for the way that she mistreats you, for sure. But you are part of a pattern. Okay, every marriage has a pattern that they get in, a core pattern. And even if you're more of the withdrawer, typically that reinforces the other person's reaction, because that's triggering something in them. So what I want you to do is I want to give you advice about disrupting your part of the pattern, because we can't change other people, but we can change us. And when we learn to give different responses, it gives the other person a different person to work with. Because as I said before, she's staying in the marriage for some reason. There's some benefits to her, even if it's just because it's convenient to be around. And when you learn to change your part, and when you learn to be able to confront and then also invite, and saying things like, hey, I care about you, and I want us to be able to live together in peace, and not just peace, but in some kind of level of intimacy and enjoyment of one another. But this isn't working out well for us. We both are miserable, and it just seems like it just feels convenient. But I'm not willing to do that anymore. So I'm going to challenge the status quo here, but I'd like to address this and invite you to come to therapy with me. And if not, this is going to be my boundary. And you decide what the boundary is going to be. And if that is, whatever is making it convenient for her, you might need to withdraw some of that benefit. Oftentimes here we are telling people to, scaffold their boundaries. And so, that could be that we don't sleep in the same bed with someone, or we don't spend as much time with them, and then depending upon what their reaction is, if they're having affairs and things like that, you may end up having to actually physically separate from someone. But people change. Typically the point where people change is when the cost of staying the same exceeds the cost of changing. And that's typically where a disruption in the pattern occurs.
Alice.
Steve, you sound so disempowered. Like the strength of your voice has just worn away, and that's very understandable after all this treatment you've received from her. And I suspect how she's treating you might be similar to how you felt in your family of origin. And so I have actually great hope for you, because you want to try.
You guys are pretty smart.
Something hit there. Yeah. Because you want to try therapy, even though you're almost done, there's hope. You're also a humble man, and you're willing to be honest. And God can use that combination to work miracles. So I want you to consider telling your wife, I think we're both lonely and hurt. And I'm almost to a breaking point. Maybe you are too, but I want to give this one last chance. I'm going to go and get help, because I know I've added to the problems in this marriage. I want to invite you to come with me. And if you can't, if you won't, I'm still going to do this anyhow. And Steve, I'd have you commit to letting go of pornography. Think about being able to tell your wife, I'm a month free of pornography, and I'm doing this for us. What that would mean to her heart. Steve, other women have told me that when my husband used porn, it's like he brings other women into our bedroom through his screen. It feels just like infidelity, full infidelity to a woman. And so that is an area where you could bring about healing in your marriage. You would show her something that would just shock her if you chose to do that. And it very well may motivate her to follow your direction. We have a book we want to send you by Marc Cameron, whom you've been speaking with, and it's about attachment styles. And because we hit on something there, that the way she treats you is similar to how your family treated you, this book will help you unravel that, figure out how to get your voice back, and become securely attached, which includes being assertive and having a strong voice again.
The book is called Understanding Your Attachment Style. It's available in the newlife.com store. But Steve, we're going to send you a copy just for calling in today at no charge. And we also want to let you know about a couple of intensives that we do here at New Life. And you're new to New Life, so you may not know any of this. There's the Every Man's Battle. That's happening the weekend of January 23rd in Orange County. It's for men who are dealing with sexual integrity issues. And there's also the Intimacy and Marriage Intensive that you and your wife can attend. That is also in Orange County, California. Valentine's Day weekend. You can find out more about those at newlife.com.
And that would be the order I would recommend them in, because you need to show your willingness and effort first. Every Man's Battle is the way to do that, and then invite her to intimacy and marriage.
Yeah. All right, very good. Steve, thank you for your phone call today from Denver, Colorado, and we sure do appreciate your friend letting you know about us. And yeah, go to our website, newlife.com. You can find out about everything we do. We've got this radio show and podcast that we do 5 days a week, and we're here in the studio. We open up the phone lines so that anyone can call in with questions that they might have about whatever it is they're going through. And no question is off the table. We can tackle anything. We've been doing this for almost 40 years now. We, like Steve said, you guys are pretty smart people. We've got Marc Cameron and Dr. Alice Benton here to answer your questions for both hours. So grab an open line. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we would love to hear from you as well. We've got the number there on the bottom of your screen. It's 1-800-229-3000. If you're not watching, if you're listening on radio or Sirius XM channel 131. We'll be right back here on New Life Live.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
For some people who call into New Life Live, like we've heard from Ray and Steve today, the advice heard on New Life Live is the start of their healing. Well, listen to this letter that we received. I started listening to New Life Live on Sirius Radio in 2008. Once I figured out it was daily at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I caught it when I could. One of the earlier broadcasts I heard included a woman whose husband was cheating on her. She wondered if she was handling things right or whether she should be more forgiving each time he said he would stop. I fully expected the response to be vague and rely mostly on prayer. I was astounded by the directness and clarity of the answer. 11 years earlier, I had been in the same spot as the caller. Yes, men are also the victims of cheating sometimes. No one ever told me that I wasn't partially responsible for my wife's cheating. No one ever told me that I didn't have to be patient because eventually she would come to her senses. I felt regret that I hadn't heard that radio show 11 years ago. It really helped me heal even after all those years. I didn't cause my wife's cheating, and her deciding to stay with the other guy also was not my fault. The understanding and healing these words brought to me was profound. Just listening to the programs has been a big part of my growth and maturing as a Christian.
Finding New Life Live is like finding the pearl of great price. I've said before, I got most of my education by listening to New Life, more so than my graduate school education. And I couldn't stop listening either when I first heard it because I heard truths here that I had never heard anywhere else, not from the pulpit, not from my family. So I get it. Yeah. There's truth here you can't find elsewhere.
Right, and if you listen to only just a few shows, you're probably going to hear someone call in that hits on something that you are struggling with.
Yes. Yep. So please help us continue what we've been doing for almost 40 years now, helping people who are faced with life's most difficult challenges. Your generosity really does change lives, and your gift is doubled through December 31st up to $475,000, allowing twice the impact of all we're doing to reach listeners like this one and like you. So give online at newlife.com/match or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text the word match to 28950. Thank you for whatever you can do. And we're in the studio for 2 hours today, so you can call in to 1-800-229-3000 and speak with Marc Cameron and Dr. Alice Benton. And we're going to talk to Maria now in Tucson, who's listening on KGMS. Welcome to New Life Live, Maria.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Of course. How can we help you?
Also, I have a couple of questions. The main question is, I got a text from you guys that you're dealing with estrangement from family members, and I've been going through this for about 10 years with my oldest son and his wife since I got divorced. And with 2 years in between that, I was able to see him again, meet my grandchildren, and I spent time taking care of them and helping them, recover from some things that they were going through. And then I got cut off again, and I've always kind of been a person to try to acknowledge my own side of the street. Mm-hmm. There are some things that I have difficulty acknowledging. Of course, I'm like everybody else. It takes me a minute, but I've been in recovery for a long time, and so I know the recovery principles. But this has been happening in other relationships in my family as well, and it's getting to where I'm feeling like I don't want to try anymore. I had my older brother cut me off for 3 or 3.5 years.
Wow.
Didn't speak to me because I didn't do something he wanted me to do, and we're reconciled, we're healing, but my heart is getting so hard and so callous that I don't want to try anymore. And I'm kind of scared if I ever see my grandkids, what do I say to them? Do I throw their parents under the bus, or do I admit to something that I didn't do, or, you know what I mean? Because from their perspective, Nana just abandoned them, just disappeared. They have no idea. One day I watched them every day. I picked them up from school every day and took them to the park every day. And then the next day I was just gone. And so I'm not. So I know it's a self-protective thing. I just want to cut my heart off. And in my mind, I start ruminating on, arguments. And I'm trying to tear that down. I am in therapy. I've been in therapy for a while. I'm doing EMDR right now. We're practicing. We're working on. I have a detached or disorganized attachment style. So we're actually working on that foundation first before we go into the other things that I have. I have a long history of trauma and come from a very broken background. But since I got saved 32 years ago, I've been working on healing and overcoming and handing something else down to my family.
Yeah.
Maria, what are you in recovery for?
Well, I initially went into recovery for betrayal trauma. Something inappropriate happened in my marriage.
Were you the victim of the betrayal? Or were you the person who had
I
the
am
affair?
the victim, and also is my daughter. But I'm in recovery for a lot of things. I've been clean off of methamphetamine for 37 years. Alcohol, a little over 30 years. Sexual abuse. I was the victim. I was abducted, actually, and held prisoner, held captive, all kinds of stuff. Came from a family, a neighborhood where everyone I knew did drugs or sold drugs, including my parents. So there's a lot there.
Yeah, you've had a very chaotic life. Now, with your son, you mentioned that your son and wife cut you off initially after you got divorced. Did they blame you for the divorce?
Well, I was suicidal. I went in the hospital. I was dealing with major depressive disorder. So I've been diagnosed with ADD, major depressive disorder, complex PTSD, borderline personality disorder.
Wow.
And I think that's it.
Well, that's a lot in itself. So, and why are they cutting you off? Do you know? Is it because of continued or intermittent meth and alcohol use?
No, I've been clean off of drugs and alcohol for since I got pregnant with that son.
Why do you know why they're cutting you off? Why did they all of a sudden you go from watching your grandkids every day to now you're on the outs?
Well,
what happened?
What was happening was I was kept inviting my granddaughter wanted to spend the night with me, And she kept begging to spend the night, and I kept saying something to my daughter-in-law about it, and she kept having reasons that it couldn't happen, basketball game, this game, that, whatever. And then one day we had an event going on at church. I used to take care of the kids at church, and I wanted, my grandkids to come, so I invited the kids and told them all about, tell your parents, because I thought, well, if they knew how much they wanted to go, they would put some of these other events aside. And that was inappropriate. I shouldn't have handled it that way. But my daughter-in-law, one day I was talking to her, and she said, well, I need to clear the air. I didn't know there was a problem between us. And they said, they don't go to church, and they don't want their kids going to church. And, I invited them. And then I guess my grandkids gave them hell.
Well, typically, where we direct people in a situation like yours is to try and invite the person who's cut you off into a conversation where you primarily are the listener and they're the speaker, and you just invite them to share with you. And so what that could look like is you either reaching out if they're willing to talk with you on the phone, that would be the best option. If not, maybe either sending a text or sending an email, or maybe even a physical letter if it's at that point, where you just say, hey, listen, I'm hurting, and I know that you're hurting too. And I want to be able to hear out what your concerns are, because I'd love for us to get back into relationship together, and I want to be able to respect your boundaries. Would it be possible for us to have a conversation? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to listen and consider what you have to say. And so something along those lines, and maybe you have your therapist help you write that, or however, practice with you if you get to talk on the phone with them, how you're going to communicate that. But that's what I would do, is invite them, see if they're willing to have that conversation with you, and then you just listen. Even if you don't like what they say, or you disagree with what they're saying, just listen and consider. Oftentimes when we can do that, that helps make us safe in the eyes of the other person, because they're feeling heard and they're feeling understood. And then you see what boundaries that you're willing to adhere to that they're asking of you. And then as you build a relationship with them, then it's often after that we get opportunities to talk about our hurts and our side.
We'll see if Alice has any thoughts when we come back from the break here on New Life Live, but it is that hard break, so we've got to take it right now. Keep Maria in your prayers. She has gone through so much, and if you're going through a lot, you can call us for prayer. You can go to our website, newlife.com, and click on prayer and type in your prayer request. But when you call into the show, everybody else listening and watching hears what you're going through, and they're going to pray for you as well. We'll be back on New Life Live.
I'm John Townsend. If caring for others is your calling, consider strengthening your training this coming year. The Townsend Institute at Concordia University, Irvine offers accredited online degree programs in counseling, leadership, executive coaching, and consulting. From certificates to master's to PhD programs that develop competence, character, and connection. Our spring 2026 classes start in February with practicum and clinical pathways for those preparing for hands-on service. Want to learn more? Join our online information night, Townsend Institute Live, on Wednesday, January 14th. You can talk with faculty, staff, and our alumni directly, and you'll have your application fee waived just for attending. You'll find more details and registration at cui.edu/Townsend. Make 2026 the year that you invest in yourself and those you serve.
For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be
his.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Hey, Rob, we're going to talk to you in just a moment, but first let's continue with Maria. Alice, what did you have to say to Maria?
Maria, I highly respect that you can acknowledge the way you tried to influence your son and daughter-in-law's opinion was around the back, and it was a little manipulative. And so having empathy for them, that some of your tactics are tough to be around, and it may have felt like you were undermining their authority a bit. Being able to know some of those things about yourself and be prepared to be humble about it will make it so much more likely to heal the relationship if and when you have a chance to talk with them again. And you might ask 3 safe people who know and love you now, what do I do to make you want to withdraw from me? Because, you know, with some of your diagnoses like borderline personality disorder, that's a tough set of symptoms to be in relationship with. And so I'm proud of all the recovery work that you're doing. So get an update from safe people about what it's like being in relationship with you now. I don't think you should ever throw your son and daughter-in-law under the bus. You asked about that. When you do have a chance to talk to your grandchildren, I do not think that will serve you in relationship with them. Humility serves so much more than pointing out other people's faults. You might make a journal, a notebook, and write to your grandchildren, knowing that they can't receive it yet, but have that prepared so that when you have access to them later, you could say, look at how much I thought about you and wrote to you and wanted to be in relationship with you. And the last thing I'll say is that you might ask your therapist to reach out to your son and daughter-in-law, and that your therapist could gather information on your behalf from them to help you work on your side of the street, which you said you're willing to keep doing.
Maria, just for calling in today, we're going to send you a copy of Dr. Jim Burns' book, Doing Life with Your Adult Children. It's available in the newlife.com store, but just for calling us today, Maria, we're going to send you one. All right, let's talk to Rob, who called 1-800-229-3000, which is the number you can call as well. And we're going to be in the studio for another hour after this one is complete. So keep calling, 1-800-229-3000. Rob listens to us on Sirius XM, channel 131. Hey, Rob, what's up in St. Paul?
Well, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
What took you so long to call?
I'm almost perfect.
Almost.
But now he realized
you're from Minnesota.
That's right.
Like Alice.
Yes.
She's almost perfect too.
Practically perfect. Me too, Rob.
You guys. You're the model.
Yes. So Rob finally has a question that he hasn't heard answered, and that's why he's calling in. What is that question, Rob?
Well, it relates to something new, and I'm very curious, not to leave Alice out, but Chris, this is specifically for you. I'd like
you mean
to
Mark?
know...
It's Mark.
I can be Chris, though, if you want to.
Oh, crud.
That's your almost perfect there. You got my name wrong.
That shows I'm still human, and I make mistakes, and I'm very embarrassed about those mistakes. But my question is regarding your new book. It sounds a lot like Myron and Kay's book, How We Love, and I'd like to know the primary difference.
Well, you're very astute here. There are similarities between my book and Myron and Kay's book, How We Love, and I actually took over from Myron and Kay at How We Love. My wife and I, they chose us to take over from them. And so Myron and Kay's book, it talks about attachment like my book talks about attachment, but their book is primarily focused on the couple's dynamic, on 2 people who are married and who want to do this work together, and they focus on a healing tool called the Comfort Circle, which I spoke a little bit about earlier on in the show. I didn't use those words, but I talked about being in a listener role and someone else as a speaker, and that's what the Comfort Circle is. It's learning how do we become attuned listeners and and give someone else an opportunity to speak so that we can learn how to understand. And if we can do that for one person, then hopefully they'll do it back for us, and then we'll learn how to heal through repair that way. But what my book is primarily focused on, it's focused on that individual's journey. So what happens when you struggle to listen to things that you don't like? What happens when you struggle with being able to speak in a way that encourages someone else to listen? And that's what I noticed about my own journey. And so that's what my book is primarily focused on. It does cover the attachment styles, and I probably use different language and different examples that Mylan and Kay use too, but I'm focused specifically more on growth goals. Every attachment style has growth goals that they need to learn to lean in towards so that they can become more securely attached to other people. And then I also talk about resistance patterns that are in there. And then I'm also probably more than Mylan and Kay, more heavily leaning toward neuroscience too, to explain the why behind this stuff, what's happening in the brain. Because I like that part about understanding things. I love neuroscience, and I don't like just to know the how. I like to know the why, because I'm a curious person, and I find that when people can understand those things, it gives a greater level of insight, and it can help them as they learn to overcome patterns and reactivity that they get stuck in.
Yeah, Alice?
Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, Alice, do you have anything?
Well, I want to ask you a question, Rob. What has interested you in attachment styles enough to call in and ask this question?
Because I have been single without relationship for many years, twice married, twice divorced, and I have read Mylan and Kay's book, and I'm 36 years sober from alcohol and 2 years dry from pornography, and so the books mean a lot to me, and it's also caused an increase in my interest in neuroscience. So I'm glad to hear, Mark, that you have addressed that perhaps in a better way.
Yeah.
Rob, just for calling in today, we're going to send you a copy of the book, and we hope we know you're going to like it. You can call us after you've read it and let us know what you thought. It's called Understanding Your Attachment Style. It's available in the newlife.com store, and we're going to send you a copy.
Something I appreciate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling, Rob. Something I appreciate about Mark's style and his writing is how he can take complex ideas and make them very digestible for all of us. And so having someone like him explain the neuroscience makes it more easily understandable. So it's a great feature to his book.
Yeah. Again, it's called Understanding Your Attachment Style. And if you purchase it from us at newlife.com, there's also some bonus features that you'll get. So take advantage of that.
Rob will get those too, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
If Rob says please, let's see. Rob, can you say, if Rob says please, we'll send him those.
Please.
Okay.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. Just for you, Rob.
Especially since you're from Minnesota.
Yes.
There we
We
go.
love
indeed.
Minnesotans around here.
So we're going to keep the studio lines open for another hour at 1-800-229-3000. Also want to let you guys know that enrollment is now open for 3 New Life courses that are starting the week of January 26th. Lose It for Life, Healing is a Choice, and Take Your Life Back. These are 12-week online faith-based courses led by a licensed counselor or coach. You can get all the details about each course and claim your spot at newlife.com. And like I said, we're going to be in the studio for another hour. What do you need to talk about? That thing you feel you can't talk with anyone else about. You can talk with us here at newlife.com, or at New Life Live, I should say. And like I said earlier, when you call into the show, other people are listening and they will be praying for your situation. So it's a great way to kind of like getting your prayer requests out. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call, especially if you feel like it's not the most wonderful time of the year. Maybe you feel like, you know, that TV show, you feel like a misfit or a misunderstood reindeer. I feel your pain, Rudolph. We can help you here at New Life Live. 1-800-229-3000. We want to talk to you guys. We want to help you get through the holidays. And, you know, only a few days left till Christmas, and you might still have issues with, you know, you're going to see that person that you haven't seen, that you only see once a year, and every time you see them, something comes up. And we want to help you deal with that so that you're prepared the next time you see that person. So call in to us today. We're going to be here for another hour, and we would love to talk with you. For Dr. Alice Benton and Marc Cameron, I'm Brian Perez. Thanks for watching and listening to New Life Live. God bless.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.